Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Nkosinadzwane, the leader of PhD Mission of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let me talk to young people, or those who want to one day to be married, young men and women, and those who want to be married who are not young. A purpose matters when you enter into a relationship, or when you plan to enter into a relationship. A purpose matters. Purpose matters. Meaning the purpose of entry to that relationship matters. In other words, there must be a purpose of entering into a relationship of two people. There must be a purpose. Men cannot just enter, women cannot just enter into a relationship without a purpose. What is the purpose of that relationship? Purpose matters so much. What has destroyed many of our young women is because most of them, they enter into a relationship with assumptions, assuming that when I enter and then we go on in a relationship, he will see a wife in me. That is why when they enter into this relationship, they start submitting to these boys, start taking instruction from these boys, being controlled by these boys. The boy tell her that I need to see you today. If she say, but mommy will, no. It means, now it means this relationship is not working now. So they will not be prepared to listen to these girls when they give an excuse of not seeing them. These young women subjected themselves under the authority of these boyfriends. What happened is something happened that was wrong first. They entered into that relationship without a purpose. And then they only assumed that the marriage would be born out of it. I always say in Zulu, umjolo au graduate. Umjolo au graduate. Ufana no chanjo estimate. Uchanjo estimate remain horizontal. Doesn't matter how far the train is moving. It will remain horizontal. If ukuthi kunentaba lo janjo kumele uyinyuke bangamane bebhoboza intaba to keep it horizontal. Umjolo unjalo nje ufana no chanjo estimate. No matter how far you go, au graduate umjolo. It remain umjolo. Why? Because the purpose was not there when they enter into a relationship. A relationship without a purpose is like a chicken without a head. Relationship without a purpose is like a chicken without a head. Chicken without a head cannot go anywhere. Can have all the energy but cannot go anywhere. There is no destiny. Now, so the purpose must be outlined. The purpose must be known first. Why I enter. Especially you young ladies. Because you always become the prey of predators. And some of them not even young ladies. Very shocking. You get someone of 30 years and up still becoming a prey like a 15-year-old. You always become a prey of predators. Especially you, this is advice. This advice is for you. The purpose must be known of entering into a relationship. Why are you entering in a relationship? Why are you about to enter in a relationship if you have not yet entered? That is number one. The purpose must be outlined clearly to the one who's asking for a relationship. Because you women do not ask for a relationship. It's a man who asks for a relationship. The purpose must be outlined. That for me, a purpose to enter the relationship is this. You men, what is your purpose for entering into the relationship? If the purpose is not outlined, you don't expect him, he understand. He came because he came, he loves you. Well, it's fine, that is well enough. But you do not expect him that he understand what you did not tell him. Therefore, you cannot blame him later when he does not meet to your expectations. Because he might have entered with another purpose. Maybe he liked your nice look. He did not say a wife in you, but your nice appearance. So you need to do, the next thing is, you have the purpose. Then you find out if he has the same purpose by outlining your own purpose. This is the purpose I will enter into a relationship. What is your purpose? You must tell me your purpose. So that you will see that the purposes are the same. We need to work out if the purposes are the same. That is the next step. It starts with having a purpose of entering. You don't just jump into because you are lonely. That must not be a reason to get into a relationship because you are lonely. You will see what will come out of the lonely woman. If you enter because you are lonely, you will see. You don't enter because you are lonely. You enter because there is a purpose. And now that purpose must be outlined to the one who's proposing. The one who's proposing needs to know this is your purpose, sole purpose of entering into a relationship. And he also have to outline what is his purpose before there is even entry. If the purposes are talking to each other, then maybe something can happen. But then, that's something, something can happen, meaning you can agree into a relationship. But then, the terms and conditions, which are your now principles I was speaking about yesterday. You lady, you need to be dictating over the principle that will govern that relationship. You need to dictate over it. A relationship without a principle is also dead because there's no guidelines. A relationship is not about going out in the mall and eat out ice cream and go to the room and have sex and come back and the following day going to work and either go to beachfront and swim in the water, and that is a reduced relationship. That is very reduced, it's useless relationship. A relationship must give birth to long-lasting friendship. It must be durable relationship. It mustn't be a relationship founded on these winds I'm talking about. So therefore now, your principles now that you come into understanding that the purpose is similar, the principles now of that relationship that you guys are building, that is step number 3, must be outlined. How are we going to conduct this relationship? Outlined by both principles. And the woman must dictate over those principles. Got to dictate over those principles. It means you guys outline the principle and you come into agreement on the principle on how you're going to conduct now your relationship. And then the woman must dictate over those principles. If she don't dictate over those principles, you know what's going to happen? She will become a prey. She will become a prey. I've never seen a friendship between a lion and a rabbit. I've never seen a friendship. I always see one is eating the other is eaten by the other. I always see a prey and a predator situation. I don't see a relationship that is not founded on principles between a woman and a man. I see one will be eaten anytime. It's a matter of time. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next month, but at some point, someone will be eaten. Someone will be eaten. Someone will become breakfast, supper, and lunch. So that means the first step is the woman needs to know what is the purpose of me entering the relationship. The purpose must not be loneliness. Can't be because I'm lonely, I need a relationship. The purpose must be long-lasting purpose. And the next step is, if the man proposes marriage, is that purpose must be made known to that man to see if his purpose is similar to the woman's purpose. If it is similar, maybe the woman can say, okay, it's fine, I accept that relationship. I accept building that relationship. The next thing is the principle that will govern that relationship. They need to be set by both. And the woman must be the leader of the principle in order to safeguard her from being a prey of the predator. Remember, not every one of us respect women in a sense of sexuality. We always want to get what we want from them. We will always twist them, make them understand, and then we get what we want. That's what I'm trying to say. Therefore, if the woman does not dictate over the principles, then she will still become a prey anyway. So she must dictate over the principles. That means she must govern over the principle, rather. Rule over the principles. And then as this relationship is going on, you see that all the principles set are being met. But then, you need to be seeing the fruit of that relationship. It cannot just be a principle relationship without any fruit. It must be seeing the fruit. The relationship in an essence of it, if it is not for sex purpose, it is leading to marriage. It is leading to marriage. Unless I propose a woman because I just see that she would satisfy my desires. And then the woman who allowed that also is childish. Especially in this age. It's childish. So, it means now that even though their principle govern that relationship, that relationship need to be leading to a marriage as soon as it can be. Someone say, but why I need you to learn her. I want to know that you can't learn a person. You will never know a person. You'll never know a person. Because a person is not fixed. It's changing. For the next coming 5 years is good and nice. And after 5 years, it's become worse person. And someone was worse for 5 years. After that, become the best person. You'll never learn a person. Anything that changes, you can't learn. So I know I want to learn her. And that this thing of us learning women but learning them on our bed is not acceptable. If I'm learning her, I must not be bringing her to my bedroom. Why I'm bringing her to my bedroom? What kind of learning is that? So yeah. So the woman needed to be ruling or governing over the principles that are set for that relationship. So I spoke about the first step is to have a purpose to end the relationship. For both parties must have a purpose. The second step is once they have come into agreement, harmonizing their purpose, if the purpose is similar, they set up the principles and the lady govern over the principle. And the next thing is expectation of action now. I always tell the ladies that are dating someone for 3 years, say this guy you are the one who went with him to select a car in a dealer, and you are the one who had the voice to buy that car. That car is only your transport to a bedroom. If he's really serious about you, it's not like the car is for job purposes. If he's really serious about you, he was going to save that money so that because he claims he loves you, he pay your border. If he's really serious about you, he lead you to go and buy a car. Some of them, they even change twice car. You are just there. You are more like an object. You are just there. You are actually there with them, going to change the car. You think less. That is why you find that later you are frustrated, and later you even start cheating because someone is promising something better, because you entered into a relationship without a purpose. If you enter into a relationship without a purpose, you're not going to find the purpose already when you're in a relationship. You're not going to find the purpose. The purpose must be from the beginning. Many good relationship, good one. It's not like the man wanted sex, not like the woman wanted sex. They wanted to be together forever. Have died because they've never been guidelines on those relationships. They've never been principles on those who enter into those relationships. They never set the mutual principles, which is principles that govern both of them. They've never had the purpose to enter into the relationship. They just loved one another. Some of them, they might have had a purpose, but they failed to set the principle that will govern them until the purpose is fulfilled. And then you find that many relationships are dying. Many good relationships that should have made husband and wife, they die because these things are missing. These things are missing. I still remember what my wife told me 5 years back when we met. I still remember what she told me. And that made her become a wife today. It made her become a wife today. Should she not have said that, it might have been she might have become a wife maybe after 2 years, after 3 years, maybe after we have all these things that we might have done. Maybe she might not even be a wife today. You see, it is the guideline. She might not have been aware that what she said to me was her own principle of life that will safeguard her from being destroyed. Because we learn from mistake. If we have already fallen in the past, we don't want to fall today and fall tomorrow. That is foolishness. We learn from mistakes in life. We all have made mistakes in life. Therefore, now we avoid that mistake not to repeat. If she did not say what she said to me, she might not be a wife by today. My point is, my brothers and sisters, we need to have a systematic approach into the issues of entering and going on the relationship. We need to have a systematic approach. If we are lacking that, then we're going to have a problem. Systematic approach into the issues of entry to the relationship and the process and proceeding with the relationship. Many relationships should have given birth to marriages, but they couldn't give birth to marriages. Why? The approach. We can't say the approach is wrong, but we need to revisit the approach. It must be systematic. As I said, first, the purpose of a man entering into a relationship with a man, and there must be a purpose of a woman entering into a relationship with a man. The next thing is, if the purpose are harmonized, that means there is a mutual purpose, a common purpose, then they say the guidelines to guide them. Then how will they continue this relationship? And the woman must dictate to safeguard herself. She must rule over the guidelines. Until the fullness of marriage has come, and then the woman cannot dictate over that, the man must take over, because he's now their husband. Shalom, this is your brother Nkosinathi Zwane of PhD Mission of our Lord Jesus Christ.